Now, Bitcoin just fell below 70k. Crypto ETFs are seeing hundreds of millions of dollars in outflows, and in one of the most surprising developments of the year, Michael Saylor's strategy actually sold Bitcoin. Now, at the same time, markets are reacting to comments from Donald Trump suggesting there could be a deal reached by next week regarding ongoing geopolitical tensions. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happened in these last 24 hours and why the market sold off and what traders are watching next. So make sure you stay till the end of the video so you don't miss out a single thing. Now, let's start with Bitcoin itself. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has just dropped below the 70k level. Now, looking in the 1 minute time frame, that can be exactly as seen. So we have just surpassed another low, which was at 69,086. Now we are currently at 68,995. So we are seeing a further move towards the downside. Now, looking in the daily time frame, we can see that Bitcoin has heavily fallen under the major support level that we've been moving in these past couple of months. Now, 70k isn't just some random number, it's a major psychological support level that traders once were watching very closely. Now, Bitcoin has obviously broke through that, selling accelerated and leverage positions started getting wiped out. We actually got wiped out heavily yesterday in the session, so I suggest you guys join today's session. We'll be taking a deeper look into Bitcoin and seeing what we can do in a live trading session. So reports actually estimate that around $744 million worth of crypto positions were liquidated across the markets in 24 hours. Now, when that happens, traders who borrowed money to increase their exposure to get forced out of their positions, creating even more selling pressure. And that's exactly why we actually saw Bitcoin moving towards the downside much quicker. And as for liquidity, liquidity does still seem to sit in the upper range, as you can see, but we are still making more liquidity in that downside. So the price didn't happen in isolation. Markets have actually been dealing with uncertainty surrounding the geopolitical tensions, and investors have generally been moving away from the riskier assets. So crypto tends to react strongly whenever uncertainty increases because many investors treat Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as high-risk investments. However, sentiment improved slightly after comments from Donald Trump suggested there could be potentially a deal reached by sometime next week. But is that going to happen? I don't know, because we'll be getting a yes and a no for these last, I don't know, a month and so. Yeah, it's not looking too promising right now. So those comments actually helped calm down the markets somewhat, and Bitcoin recovered part of its losses. But the key word is that potentially. So it could be, it could not be, which, well, most likely that we've seen in the past. We've been getting more and more news and talks, but nothing has actually happened. So right now, traders are reacting to expectations rather than confirmed developments. So any new headline could quickly change the market direction. And now another major reason of the weakness is happening because of Bitcoin ETFs. According to recent data, the spot Bitcoin ETFs roughly recorded 480 million in net outflows. That's significant because ETF inflows were one of the biggest drivers behind crypto's bigger rally over the past year. Now, when institutions are buying through ETFs, that creates steady demand for Bitcoin. But when money starts leaving those products, the opposite can happen, as we can see. Now, the market has become very sensitive to the ETF flow data because it's one of the clearest indicators of institutional sentiment. So when traders see hundreds of millions of dollars leaving the Bitcoin ETFs, they start questioning whether institutional demand is actually slowing down. And now that actually brings us to Michael Saylor. So the story that actually surprised a lot of people is that Michael Saylor's company Strategy disclosed that it sold 32 Bitcoin at an average price of 77,135 per coin. Now, before anyone panics, let's put that into perspective. Strategy owns more than 800,000 Bitcoin, so 32 Bitcoin is an incredibly small amount relative to their holdings. So financially, it barely changes anything. But psychologically, it's a very different story. So for years, Michael Saylor has been one of the biggest Bitcoin's strongest advocates and has built a reputation around the idea of buying and holding Bitcoin long term. So that's why the sale attracted so much attention. So the company stated that the sale was made to help fund obligations related to preferred shares. not because they were, abandoning their Bitcoin strategy. Still, many investors viewed it as symbolic. So even though it was only 32 Bitcoin, it was one of those rare occasions where the market saw even strategy actually reduce its Bitcoin holdings. And in the market, symbolism can sometimes matter just as much as the actual numbers themselves. So the question is, where do we go from here? Now, the four major things that crypto traders are actually watching right now is that first, if Bitcoin can reclaim that 70 to 71k level. Secondly, do the ETF outflows continue, or does institutional demand actually return? Now, thirdly, will the expected geopolitical deal that Trump referenced actually materialize? And fourthly, will strategy resume buying Bitcoin, or is this just a sale of the beginning of a broader shift? Now, Bitcoin did lose a major support level, ETF money continues leaving the market, and even Michael Saylor's company sold more Bitcoin. So individually, none of these events are catastrophic, but together they've created such a cautious atmosphere around the market right now. So as always, in the next couple of days, we're going to be very, very important of determining whether the price is actually a temporary correction or a start to a deeper move lower. Now, if you guys are looking to trade in these volatile conditions, then look no further than that description box down below, which will take you to Evedex. Now, Evedex is a fully decentralized exchange that's been gaining attention among traders looking for a transparent trading experience. What's pretty cool right now is that Evedex is actually running price campaigns where users have the chance to win rewards, including iPhones, AirPods, and Apple Watches, and other prizes through their active trading competitions and reward pools. So if you're already trading and want to check out a decentralized platform while also having the opportunity to participate in those giveaways, definitely take a look at Evedex using the link down in the description below. Now, hit that subscribe button, because there'll be major developments happening throughout the rest of this week and jumping into next week as well. So I'll keep you guys updated. So as always, hit that like button, we greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one.